At the moment, I am just not confident of achieving.
This is what the Indian Air Force Chief, Air Chief Marshal Amarpreet Singh had said at Aero India 2025 in the backdrop of long-standing delays in the delivery of the new Tejas Mk2 fighter jets. No confidence in HAL. These are the words in focus. And what does it mean? Is the Indian Air Force facing an emergency and a dire shortage of fighter jets? Well, the answer is yes. The Indian Air Force in a study reported that it needs to induct at least 2 fighter squadrons every year in order to maintain operational readiness. This includes fulfilling the deficit that already exists, as well as to compensate for the aircraft to be phased out in the immediate future, including the MiG-21s, MiG-29s, Jaguar and Mirage 2000s. Indian Air Force Chief Amarpreet Singh said last week, quote, "We have fleets which will be retired in the next 5 to 10 years. Those fleets will have to be replaced by new aircraft, and we already have vacancies on hand. We are contemplating 35 to 40 aircraft a year being produced somewhere. I know capacities cannot be created overnight, but we must start challenging ourselves towards that," unquote. Let's get that straight. The Indian Air Force is facing a critical shortage of fighter jets, prompting the government to take necessary action to revamp its war-fighting capacity. Following the Indian Air Force Chief's statement regarding the urgency of acquiring sophisticated new fighter aircraft, the Defense Ministry has now formed a committee to assess and enhance the strength of the Indian Air Force. This new committee consists of the Vice Chief of Air Staff, the Secretary Defense Production, the DRDO Chief, and the Director General Acquisition, being headed by the Defense Secretary. Its member secretary is the Deputy Chief of Air Staff. The panel has made comprehensive review of Indian Air Force's capability development, covering weapons, technology, infrastructure, and domestic manufacturing capabilities. Presenting its report to Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, the committee has emphasized the need for short-term, medium-term, and long-term measures to enhance India's combat capabilities. It also emphasizes the importance of enhancing Atmanirbharta in balancing the private sector with defense public sector undertakings and the Defense Research and Development Organization, or the DRDO. The government is encouraging private players like Tata Advanced Systems Limited and Larsen & Toubro to collaborate with the DRDO and the HAL, or the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, for increased production of defense machinery in the domestic economy. Now, there are some other companies such as Bharat Forge, Mahindra Defense Systems, Ashok Leyland, Kalyani Strategic Systems Limited, MTAR Technologies and MKU Limited, which are also set to enter, given the fact that they have experience to produce defense-critical components of an aircraft. These private companies are already actively helping the government to boost defense production. Now, here are some examples. The Airbus C295 production line may prove to be a game changer for Indian defense production. As per the agreement, 40 aircraft will be manufactured and assembled in collaboration with TASL at the Vadodara final assembly line, while 16 will come in a fly-away configuration from Airbus's Sevilla plant in Spain. The Tata-Boeing Aerospace joint venture, which has already supplied more than 250 major body parts for Boeing's AH-64 Apache helicopters, is targeting a new milestone, establishing a final assembly line in India with Airbus for H-125 helicopters. Further, TASL has entered into strategic collaborations with Air India and US defense major Lockheed Martin to spearhead military aircraft programs as well as maintenance, repair and overhaul MRO projects right here in India. Now, the HAL remains at the center of India's indigenous aircraft manufacturing operations. It has a robust order book of over 90,000 crore rupees and recorded an all-time highest revenue of 29,800 crore rupees in just the last financial year. Its major projects include 70 trainer aircraft worth 6,800 crore rupees, 6 Dornier 228 aircraft for the IAF, 2 for the Coast Guard, manufacturing light combat aircraft or Tejas Mk2, upgrading Sukhoi 30 MKI aircraft, and production of 240 new engines for Su-30s valued at 26,000 crore rupees. The HAL also opened India's biggest helicopter manufacturing facility in Tumakuru, Karnataka in February 2023. The plant will produce light utility helicopters, light combat helicopters, and Indian multi-role helicopters with a goal of over 1,000 helicopters in the 3 to 15 ton category, valued as a business opportunity of 4 lakh crore rupees over a 20-year period. Now, all this is great, but it still does not suffice for the Indian Air Force's current requirement. IAF currently operates only 30 fighter squadrons, far short of the authorized number of 42 to face any two-front war against China and Pakistan. As the old fleets of Mirage 2000s and Russian MiG aircraft approach retirement, the Indian Air Force urgently requires at least 300 to 400 fourth and fifth generation fighter jets. The United States has recently offered the F-35 stealth fighter to India, and Russia has proposed joint production of the Sukhoi 57 Felon stealth fighter. Apart from this, India is also working on its indigenous fifth-generation advanced medium combat aircraft, the AMCA program. Meanwhile, the IAF is also exploring and looking at proposals for 114 MRFA or the multi-role fighter aircraft from other international manufacturers. Leading contenders include the Rafale, Eurofighter Typhoons, Saab Gripens, and the American F-21s. However, domestic manufacturing remains the primary focus. The Defense Ministry is streamlining production and easing increased private sector participation. The Indian Air Force has already ordered 83 LCA Mark 1A fighter jets for 48,000 crore rupees and will additionally purchase another 97 in an estimated 67,000 crore rupee deal. But for India to truly achieve independence in fighter jet manufacturing, the country needs to perfect manufacturing a fighter jet engine. Now, this could be achieved by progress in the Kaveri project or through joint development of the AMCA engine with a leading global manufacturer like Safran of France, GE, or Rolls-Royce. Still, the question remains, will India's ambitious defense modernization efforts be enough to bridge the fighter jet shortfall and ensure the Indian Air Force remains combat ready? South Korea's Hyundai Heavy Industries, a global shipbuilding leader, is making waves in India as it intends to set up a base here. Leading the list are Tamil Nadu's Thoothukudi and Cuddalore port regions, while Hyundai could also seek to partner with Larsen & Toubro's Kattupalli shipyard. However, the competition is heating up, with Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra aggressively vying for this investment. If HHI moves forward, it could revolutionize India's shipbuilding sector, boosting technology sharing, attracting global contracts, and strengthening India's maritime infrastructure. With India aiming to break into the top 10 global shipbuilders by 2030, HHI's decision in the coming months could be a game changer. IIT Madras and ISRO succeeded in developing and boosting IRIS, the indigenous semiconductor chip for space. One among the Shakti series of microprocessors, the chip makes use of open-source RISC-V architecture featuring fault-tolerant memory with customized modules to control and receive commands in space missions. Made in SCL Chandigarh, packaged by Tata Advanced Systems and assembled in Gujarat, the IRIS chip is 100% Indian manufactured, a colossal leap towards semiconductor self-reliance under the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. Apart from space operations, IRIS has other industrial applications, showcasing India's increasing capacity in semiconductor design and manufacturing. ISRO plans to subsequently conduct flight tests to determine its value on real space missions, a first try of Indian semiconductor manufacturing in space technology. Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button, and subscribe to Inconnect News.